Hello, Track Gang and STS followers. Welcome to STS number 4 for April 2023. Hopefully, you all can hear me. Hopefully, the reason why I say that, if you notice, I don't have the headphones on, and there's no sound coming out of the speakers, so I have no idea if it's working or not. So I could be standing or sitting here talking to myself, which that would be par for the course. Yeah, thanks, Tom. What? Are we going to start already? Mike's Deep Run Railroad. Welcome in. There's a new face. Let's see. I thought I saw Ron Moen in here a little bit ago. That there's somebody I hadn't seen in a long time. Welcome in. I'm not going to call everybody out because I know that everybody's kind of getting away with that. So I'm just going to say welcome in there, everybody. Welcome aboard. Tonight's show is going to be a little different. Obviously, as you all know, we've got the train show coming up this weekend in Timonium, Maryland, which is right up the street from my house. Those that have been here know how close it is. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about because there's been a few videos that have been put up. Al Puglisi put one up the other day talking to Howard Zane and Oh, I know his last name's Nichols. I can't remember what his first name is. I'm terrible with names. I know Tom's Trains and Things went ahead and put a video up also saying, that there's going to be, obviously there's a huge meet and greet, or not a huge meet and greet, but there's going to be a meet and greet, and then we're probably going to come back here for a cookout after the fact. Fostoria, Ohio Model Railroad Club. Welcome in. There's another new person. I don't think I've seen them in the chat before. So anyway, that's what we're going to really kind of try to stay focused on. This is true, Ron. They are all just a little different. That's for sure. There's no question that I don't know any. I don't think any of us have anything that's not different. And I know that there has been some stuff floating through the chat, and I did see the video from Barnabas Junction earlier today that there was one of the fellows from over in England passed away. I don't think I was a subscriber to their channel, but it was Bernie over at, and I'm sorry, I've got to scroll back up. Bernie over at Crossways Junction, I think is what the channel was. Sorry to hear that we've lost yet another member of the community. This is beginning to stink, but we just gotta kind of keep moving on and go from there. Let's see. Tim D is here. I see that Dave Sparky 107 just popped in. Crossways Points Junction. Thank you, Opa Dodge. I appreciate that. So anyway, we always kid about, making sure that we lock the basement door. Well, yeah, I apparently left the real basement door open this time because, we're doing something, like I said, I'm doing something a lot different tonight. So,
Hi, guys.
You recognize him? Hopefully you can hear both of us. Yeah, sorry, Opa Dodge. I my condolences, sir. So as you can see, we've got Joe Rader here from the Black Rock Central is on board with me tonight, and actually here in the basement.
Yeah, in Ray's basement. Not on my own, or not in my own basement on camera.
Artie, holy crap! Hi, Joe.
How you doing, Artie?
Oh man. So. And that Opa Dodge is saying hello there too, and I'm sure that that's going to keep continuing.
Grandpa and everybody else.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Mr. Dodge.
I'm hope. Yeah. Actually, Sparky, I think this is the third time he's actually been over, because the first time, I'm trying to think. The first time was after the October show when I went over to your place,
Yep.
and then we came over here, and then he was here. What I guess about 2 months ago when you picked up your shirt.
Yeah.
And then now he's
Yep.
back again.
And now I'm back again.
Yeah, he's like a bad penny. He just keeps coming back.
That's what happens when you're only 5 minutes apart.
He told me too. He says, "Yeah, I'm going to wear my side drag Slippy shirt tonight." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Exactly, Roy. I left the basement door wide open, and Joe just walked right on in. He had to get past the 2 guard dogs, which one of them is laying down here on the floor behind us. But you know,
the dogs know me, so it's no big deal.
Yeah. So, Joe and I have been talking, and obviously we know that there's a bunch of folks coming in from out of town. I know that Dave Thurber and his wife are coming in. Dave from the Crooked River and Eastern. Anthony down at the Georgia Sunbelt obviously is coming up, because that's where Dave is going to be staying, I believe.
I think so.
I know that, and I'm going to goof this up, I know, but Robert from the Flying Crow is going up and meeting Wilmer, and Wilmer's coming down. Uncle Wilmer's going to be coming down. I am going to switch the camera, so I'm looking at. That's the problem. It's 2 different cameras, believe it or not. There's a train show again. Yeah. This is there's another one. Switch sides. You're talking away from each other. We shouldn't be. Well, I tell you what. Well, how about if I do that? I think I know how it be. I think I might be able to fix that. Hold on a second. Let's do this. No, that one. And what I need to do is, no, that's the daggone logo. I don't want the logo. I need that. Jeez. There we go. Well, let's try that.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to remember that things are reversed on the show. Watch Ray kill the show. Yeah, but that would be my luck, Roy, at this point.
Nah, we're not going to do that. Not tonight.
Yeah, I didn't think about that when I was setting this up earlier, that should have been the mail. Never mind. Now I can actually point and it'll be correct. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Nice work. Thanks, Mike. Oh my gosh. Just swap seats. Thanks, Tammy. Okay. Hey, there's Emma. She's making a cameo appearance in the background. Oh. Anyway, at least she's not rolling and barking and, go away. All right, there we go. So anyway, there are a bunch of folks coming in, and I know that there are some other folks that are talking about stopping in as well. I actually was talking to Al Puglisi. He's actually working the show this weekend. Or next weekend, not this weekend, this coming weekend. He's going to be he's working the table for Howard Zane. So I would imagine he's probably going to be right there as you walk in.
Probably as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah.
He's going to be right in there.
Of course, I told him, I said, you won't be able to miss me because I'll be wearing my black B&N shirt, which, as my buddy Big John likes to say, I'm just advertising with that. So,
and I'll be wearing this one.
Is that loud dog still across the street? Yeah, no, unfortunately. Yeah, that little. Don't get me started. That dog drives me crazy. It's a little Scooby-Doo type dog, and it just let's put it this way. I don't know if I don't think you've ever been here when he's been outside, but he has got a rut from where he runs back and forth in the front yard, and he'll actually jump from one end of the driveway and completely clear it and end up in the mulch underneath the tree.
Jeez.
He is that high strung. Yeah, he's a mess.
Well, my next door neighbor has some kind of big brown dog that my beagle gets along with. They go over to the fence and bark at each other and sniff each other and wag their tails. but they just bought some little brown foo-foo dog. It's kind of, if you dunk him in the soapy water, you can wash your car with him or wash your truck with him. And the first time Jack saw him, Jack ran over there and barked at him, and that little dog took off like a bat out of hell. He don't want nothing to do with Jack.
I still have an exhibitor pin from the last show. Anyone want to? I don't think that they go from show to show, Dave.
Nope. You got to have different colors each time.
Yeah, I was going to say Joe's used to that. He's usually working the show. Hey, that's the thing. He's not working this one.
No,
he's going to be hanging out with the rest of us. He's going to be out there hanging out with the common folk.
Yes, wandering around with $1 or $2 in my pocket anyway. Hopefully, I can find some cheap stuff.
Well, it was funny because I was telling my buddy Big John, I said, I've got a couple of things that I'm looking for. He's like, you're still looking for stuff? I said, yeah. I said, I figured it out the other day. I said, I'm about 8 to 10 cabooses short. He's like, what? I said, yeah. I said, I went through all my locomotives. I said, I'm 8 to 10 cabooses short. I said, at least cabooses are a lot cheaper than what the locomotives are. But
I need to find one more chassis caboose, but this one here has got to be a Western Maryland chassis caboose.
Gotcha.
And they're slim to none, unless you want to buy brand new ones that I don't have $100 to go blow on a caboose.
I'm trying to think. I think I may have given that one. I had a triplicate, and I think I may have given that one away.
Yeah, I've got a red cupola, center cupola caboose that's Western Maryland that I run with my one Western Maryland chassis engine. But I'd like to have a chassis caboose to go with it.
Yeah. The other things I'm going to be looking for at the show is I want to see if I can either find replacement motors or a couple of donor locomotives for my BL2s, because both of my BL2s are now shot.
Okay. They're all Athens?
They're the Life P2Ks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Anthony from the Georgia Sunbelt just popped in. PK and W Model Works showed up. Welcome in, folks. Fred Wild. Hey, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. I've actually got a item list sitting over in the hidden yards of all the stuff that I'm looking for.
Just remember to bring it with you.
I'll probably forget it. What was I looking for? Oh man. What was that? I got a Western Maryland chassis caboose. Come over and get it, Joe.
Who's that, Artie?
Yeah.
My truck doesn't get that good of mileage.
I was going to say, is it an amphib? Oh my! So, but yeah, I mean, this is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun this coming weekend. Like I said, there's quite a few folks, and some folk. Well, the last time I met Wilmer was in 2019 when we were up in Steamtown, and that was a blast. He is a character. Of course, then again, all of us are. None of us are right in the head, I don't think.
And I know the last time I talked to Robert, I guess it was on his live stream or Tuesday night show, that him and Wilmer are talking about coming over to my house on Sunday morning, because I think they're going back to the show again Sunday afternoon or sometime Sunday. And but anybody that wants to stop by my house, hey, let me know. Send me an email, and I can shoot you, the address so that you know where you're going. And you're welcome to stop by as long as you can put up with my crazy dog.
Better have a tall snorkel. I guess we're going back to the truck being an amphib.
Yeah.
This is true, Tammy. I don't think any of us are normal. Well, I take that back. I look at it this way. I'm normal. It's the rest of the world that's screwed up.
Yep. Anthony from Georgia Sunbelt, he can testify to how crazy of a dog I have. I believe mine owns the house, and since I feed him, he just lets me live there. But the only reason people come to my house is to see the dog. They're not there to see me. They're not there to see the railroad.
They're there to see the dog.
They're there to see the dog, and the dog will pester you until you at least say hi and pet him for an hour.
There you go. Robert and Wilmer are going to be headed down to the Georgia Sunbelt on Sunday.
Okay.
Cool. Don't like autocorrect. Yeah, neither do I, Fred. It comes. It seems like every time I type something, it never comes across the right way. Sparky has a tip for folks.
Yeah.
If you're going to visit Joe, just bring Taco Bell for the dog. Will love you.
Yes. Sparky donated a taco to the dog when he was here. And the dog really appreciated it. Knew exactly how to eat the taco. Peeled it open, ate all the good stuff out of the middle first, then went ahead and ate the taco.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've forgotten about that, Rodney, that you had gotten a couple of P2Ks from somebody. I'd like to take a look at them if nothing else. He's actually got something that was given to him a while back, and he was looking. He was like, "If you're interested," I said, "I'd like to take a look at him." So yeah, Rodney, if you're getting back down this way this weekend, my friend, yeah, that'd be great. That would be great. We'll work something out.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean it's from what I gather, I don't know, and that was one of the things too. I don't know how many people are actually coming.
No, that's
it's like I keep hearing. Like I said, well, you had gotten an email from Alan over at
Mason
Dixon, and I got one too, saying that he's got a group of guys from I think it's what did he say? It was like the Hartford Modular Railroad Club or something like that.
He didn't tell me what club name it was, but he did say that there was a couple of guys from his club that wanted to come by too.
Yeah,
bring them on by.
No PK&W. These are the old ones because I've been too daggone tied up and lazy to go ahead and set up the new ones with Nisi's name on them. So I'll get there eventually. If you go to the Teespring store, unfortunately, it's the old one, not the new one. I'll have to put the new ones together. I haven't done that yet.
Yes, they still say Jason on the back, but in spirit, he will always be here.
He's always once a member of Sidetrack Sunday, always a member of Sidetrack Sunday. He was one of the founding four, so he was a part of the original group, so he'll always be and he's been. I know he's been busy, but I also know because I obviously, if anybody caught the beginning of the last show or the last video that I put up, it says in May for the last weekend in May, it has question marks. Well, that's because my younger brother and I decided we're going to go ahead and get together for Memorial Day, which is that Monday. Yeah. Well, he basically, we're going to go ahead and get together on Sunday. And I'm like, great, that sounds wonderful. Then I came down here and started working on that video and realized that that's the Sunday of Sidetrack Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I've actually got DC is going to fill in for me, but I think Jason was kind of waiting in the wings to see what was going to happen. But yeah. Like I said, Jason's always as there. You
got to catch him when he's not with the Boy Scouts out in the woods somewhere.
Or working.
Yeah.
I mean, I know his new schedule was really screwed him up. That's the reason why Nisi's now on board with us. But she's been a great addition. I mean, she's just as screwy as the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ding, ding. Speaking of which, I haven't seen her pop in here yet. Yes, you can check one out, but oh, brother, are we talking Hotel California or are we talking about my Teespring store? Yes, I'm old enough to remember Hotel California.
Y'all know daggone well I
am. Oh, goodness. Oh, brother. Oh, hey, Ian from Lehigh River Subdivision's in the house. Welcome in. Yeah, she's over in the red rug rolling.
I was going to say, somebody growled.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the rug that was left behind down here. And I'm not sure if the person that was here before us had a pet or not, but she comes down here and she sniffs that rug, and then she all of a sudden just starts rolling in it and growling. And it's like, what are you doing? I'll be down here by myself where they'll be real quiet and all of a sudden, what the heck are you doing over there? Oh, anyway, Joe stayed at the Hotel California.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know, Rodney. I remember you sending me that, saying that Hagerstown, Maryland's having a train show the same time as Timonium. It's like, really? You all didn't coordinate that one very well. But hey, how's things going on your railroad?
I've gone about as far as I can go right now.
Okay.
Until I pick up a few more odds and ends. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking seriously of changing McCormick's Industrial Park.
Okay.
One side of it has entirely too much stuff in it, and then there's too much of an open area between the nut and bolt place and my plastics company.
Okay.
So I'm thinking seriously of remove this building and move things around a little bit, change the track layout just a little bit. But yeah, I'll probably end up doing that in the near future. Downwind or downrange, I'm thinking of moving a lot of things around.
Oh boy.
Because one side of the layout, or actually behind the oil refinery, is a set of shelves that's about a little over 12 inches wide between the railroad and the outside wall of the basement. And I'm thinking of removing those shelves, which would allow me to take the backside of the railroad and move it a foot. And I can also move it to the left almost 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then just fill in all the track around there. But if I move the one side of the layout where the drop down section is, if I move that whole section 2 feet or 3 feet, that means the rest of the layout gets to expand another 2 or 3 feet. So it's going to be a lot of very meticulous cutting track only in certain places so that then the platform itself or the framework and all can move, and then extra framework put in. I don't know if it'd actually be worth it because I'd probably only gain maybe 10, 12, 14 feet of additional track run. But it's something I have thought about playing with anyway.
Dave was messing with you. I've got it up over here. Joe has a mind now. I can say I learn something new every day. And of course, he was picking on me because I had it up there for so long. Yeah. He's like, he's waiting for Joe to finish to read it. So, but yeah, yeah. I mean, what you've done over there. I mean, and of course, I hear the same thing when folks come over and see this. But when you go into your basement and just the sheer layout of the layout. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
I just envisioned it being a little bit, I envisioned it being a lot different than what it is. And I didn't realize how much real estate it actually took up in the basement.
And what's strange is the track plan is nothing but a loop.
Yeah.
That's arranged as an L.
Right.
And it looks bigger than that once you get down there to see it.
Yeah. I still think, and of course, I think there's a few people that have been over there would be on board with me with this one. And that oil refinery that you built is just insane. I tell you what, I don't know if I'd have the patience to mess with all that little piping and everything else.
And to think I built 3 of those damn kits. Because there's two of those kits on my layout combined, and I built another one for Jack, which that was real fun trying to package that thing up to ship it to him.
Did it make it there in one piece?
I think he lost a couple ladders that he had to glue back on again, and that was it. So it didn't work out too bad for him anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's good. The layout of the layout. Yeah. Yeah, that exactly, Anthony. I agree. That refinery is just ridiculous. Oh, let's see. Ray Burleson's in the house. I saw he's been making some comment. Darby Rail Services. I live in a town with a state mental hospital. Believe it or not, there isn't one. There's one right down the road for me too. So I don't have far to go when they finally do catch me. Like I said, that's where they put all the normal people, you know. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute, what's this? Hey mods, take two. YouTube got fixed, but it may cause the changing of names. Okay, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what that is, but okay. Let's see.
I like Sparky there.
Yeah. Ian, there's normal people. I'm not
Not
sure.
on this channel, there ain't.
Hey, speak for yourself. Has Tammy told you to hurry up as you're coming over there next? Oh, brother, he said oil, not methane. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, that was the first time I saw you. It's extremely impressive, and the thing that you want to manipulate it to get more, it's like, really? I don't think I'd had. I mean, I know with this, I know there's things that I've had in mind since I designed it that I'd like to do. That's going to be down the road, but you know, to sit there and start cutting into this thing now, it's like,
Yeah,
do I
that's
really
the
want to
other thing.
do this?
There's a lot of things that I wish I had done different, but I'm too far along. You know, I'm too close to basically being done with the daggone thing to just chop it all up and start all over again.
Right.
But I wish I put a second main line in. Now I have another, you know, I've got two mains on there now. One's freight and the other's strictly my passenger service. But I wish I'd gone and put a second main in for freight line. But as it is, since basically I'm the only operator that comes over there and runs the thing, it's set up for one-man operation.
Yep. Derby Rail Service, I'm not sure why that is. I've had issues with this, and I think which side is Ray on? It may have to do a lot with the computer that I'm running. I'm actually getting with a buddy of mine who I actually talked to yesterday. That is possibly going to come over. I shouldn't say possible. He is going to come over sometime in the future and help me figure some things out and see if we can make this a little bit better. But the biggest thing is that I told him, I said, I think what I really need to do is I need to upgrade the PC because I'm taxing the CPU. And if I look at it right now, the funniest part of it is Joe's actually reading chat on another computer because I've actually got two computers set up down here. And I don't think Heath is in here, but the last time Heath was here, I had my old Dell 720 set up over here. And he's like, man, it's a great nightlight because the whole front of the case lit up. Well, unfortunately, the power supply went up in that thing. So I ended up taking the computer that I had reserved for the railroad, brought it over here, which actually kind of worked out because now I can actually have YouTube up on it. And I'm not taxing the computer that I'm streaming off of, but still, you know, this PC still has issues. And if, like I said, if I look, and of course I can't see it because it's on the other screen, underneath of the screen that Joe's looking at, I can just hover over it and tell that the CPU is maxed out. So it's still not running right. And Ken, you're right. A solid state drive would help, but I'm kind of looking down that road as well. You know, so, and I know somebody up there originally said, define normal. Yeah. Anywho, hey, Trackside Mike is in the house.
Hey, Mike.
So yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I am looking at the possibilities of updating everything over here, so I can get streaming a little bit better. So if the audio is a little off, I apologize. It's just the nature of the beast. Sorry. So, and your layout, I think, is as far as era goes, is the next era up from mine. You're doing what, the early 70s and the 80s,
late 70s,
late 70s into the okay,
yeah, late 70s, 75 to 79, somewhere in there.
okay. Where I'm actually got a fairly large era where I'm doing 1950 and the early 1970s. Gotcha. Okay.
I probably would have been better off if I had extended it a little bit more and gone, maybe 75 through 85. It would have been easier to find some things, but for the most part, yeah, I like the late 70s anyway. I'm stuck running nothing but GP units anyway.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the things that I think it was I must have subconsciously done it when I was buying stuff when I was in the service. But most of the locomotives that I bought were stuff that was you would have seen between 1950 and 1970, 75-ish. Obviously you can holy crap, you're actually talking model railroad. Yes, Tom, yes. It does happen every time and again. Any rate, somehow or other, I was buying equipment and buying rolling stock that fit that era. And I know that somebody had brought it up a while back. I've always been fascinated with the old billboard reefers. Yeah. Those refrigerator cars were always neat to see, and you can have a plethora of them across your railroad. It's just it's different. You don't see them anymore.
My other thing with doing the years that I'm doing it, with the exception of I think maybe two engines of my chassis engines that I won in Jack contests. Everything that I own is an old Athearn Blue Box. I do have one or two Atlas units thrown in there, but they're old units too. I mean, my RS1 is an Atlas unit that was probably made back in, the late 1900s, late 1990s.
Right.
And more than anything else, it's financial reasons why I stay with what some people call junk locomotives, the old Athearn units, the Blue Box. Not a lot of detail. They run forever.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, they're easy enough to put a decoder in if you can, squeeze it in some of the tight spots. But you can always mill some of the weights down. And, if you need a little bit of extra room. But all the decoders that I put in all of mine are all cheap Digitrax units. I can, you can get them for under $50 for a sound unit for the most part. But one thing that I am getting ready to do, and probably won't happen for a couple months because I'll start one unit at a time. I'm converting a lot of the Digitrax units to soundtracks. I've been on emails back and forth with Jason, and he's given me his list of recommendations, for what to do with them, and a lot of them it's going to be a simple matter of unplug the Digitrax unit, and the plugs are the same, so I can just take the Digitrax unit out and plug in a Soundtrax unit, and better sound quality out of the Digitrax to start, or out of the Soundtrax to start with.
Gotcha.
And so that's something that's going to happen here in the I won't say distant future, but by the end of the summer, I hope to have at least one of them done. Financially, it'll still be, I'll do one a month,
right,
type thing. But
yeah, that's one of the things, and I know, of course, you and I, I've got a lot of relics sitting back there on the other side of the backdrop, but a lot of them, yeah, I know. We just got dog bombed again. She's going upstairs. She's done with us. There's a lot of relics sitting back there, and a lot of them are the Athearn Blue Box. I've got I've got two Atlas units. One of them is a straight up Atlas, which was from the 70s, and the other one's an Atlas Kato unit, which is that's the RS3, and that is a beautiful unit. Dogs like the trains aren't running, Dad. Yeah, no, they're not. Oh, I saw that the Folds Bailey Railroad is in the house. Welcome in. Let's see. Who else did I miss here that just popped in recently? I know that the chat's been flying.
Say, is Rick coming down next weekend, or he hasn't made up his mind yet?
The last I saw from Mr. Bailey, I don't know if he's been able to firm things up yet or not.
Okay.
He had actually hit me up the other day and said that there was a possibility, but he still wasn't 100% certain. So it could be a last minute thing. Hey, Mystic Railroad, welcome in, and Russ over at Rockin' O Railroad, welcome in. Yeah, PK and W, the backdrop needs some love. There is no question. You know, it's one of those things. I got beat up for about a year and a half about having posts sticking up out of the layout. I finally put up a backdrop. Now everybody's going to start picking on me because it's still brown. That's okay. The reason why it's still brown, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it yet.
I painted mine blue to start with, and just left it at blue. And then I got to watching Flying Crow do his, where he was using brushes and sponges for just faking what trees would look like. And I thought, hey, I can do that.
And I can say that I tell you what, your backdrop looks really good.
So, it's better than just straight blue.
And one of the things that I was even thinking, because I saw it I remembered it the other day when I was watching Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. He had gone to like the dollar store and gotten a sky background, and just pasted it on. I'm like, well, shoot, that's real simple. Of course, I've got quite a bit of it, but
that's why at one point I thought, I'm looking at all these guys that are putting up these beautiful photo backdrops,
yeah.
80 feet of, this backdrop here. And I thought, that's really nice. And then I started checking on the prices. And I said, my God, I said, I'd have, because mine is 20, 40, 60. I would need about 85 to 90 feet of photo backdrop. And I said, I don't have $1,000 to put towards, 80 feet of backdrop. That ain't never going to happen.
Well, let's see. It's 8, 16. That would be 30, 33, 47. I think it's about 50 feet. The thing with mine is you've got places where it's a 4-foot backdrop, and then you've got other places where it's 3 feet. So you're talking 2 different heights. So that's where it's going to get a little, it's going to be. No, you're fine, PK and W. You weren't. No, trust me. I've been picked on enough about the things that I do on this monster behind me. Trust me.
Especially the old green metal posts that were up there for so long.
They're still back there.
They're still back there.
They're still back there.
But at least now they're hidden.
Yes, exactly. I'm making progress. Joe, Ron's asking, how tall is your backdrop?
16 inches. That way I could take a 4x8 sheet of plywood and cut it 3 times, or cut it into 3 pieces.
That's right. That's 2 foot, because I did the same thing. I went and bought that underlayment like you did. And this should be 2 feet on the front. And then I think it drops down to 18 inches over top of the hill.
But I have changed the one section of backdrop on mine, because mine runs all the way around the outside of the layout. Needless to say, it doesn't split the layout anywhere or anything like that. But on one side of it, instead of it being 16 inches tall, which unless you were 7 foot tall, it was kind of hard to look over top of it to see into the town. And I thought, I got to do something about that. So the other day, I took it all down, which is like, I think 12 feet of it. Yeah, 12 or 14 feet, something like that. And cut a wave into it instead. So It basically follows the tree line, but still has sky above it. Whereas now, hey, there's a town over there. You can actually see, the rest of the layout if you're actually standing on the outside. Because my railroad, like is designed that you're inside of the L shape.
Right.
And
Right.
you very seldom stand on the outside and look in. But now if you happen to be on the outside, you can look in. Plus, when or anything in there, it's a lot easier to reach over and put the cars back on the track again.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to get the ladder out and
and
reach over top of everything.
That was one of the things I can remember with this when I was putting this together. And I would talk about the visible and the non-visible side of the railroad. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? By the way, Georgia Sunbelt just left. What are you talking about? The visible and the non-visible side? Isn't the whole thing visible? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So on the other side of the backdrop, obviously, for those that have watched, and I want to go ahead and put up something right now because I put the video up Friday. The last week, I had actually gone through and I ran the schedule 4 through 6 for the railroad. As you know, I started a new ops session. When I got done, I was really pleased with myself because I actually used OBS, and instead of having to cart the dolly around the whole railroad so you could see what was going on, I actually set OBS up with 3 different cameras so you had 3 different views of what was going on, which was really neat. The only problem of it is that video ended up being 1 hour and 58 minutes long. And I was kidding with the Sidetrack Sunday guys going, I said, I'm pretty good. I said, but I really don't think a 2-hour video is going to work.
No.
So my plan was, because I finished that one up fairly early, I think it was like Monday or so. My full plan was to go in and start editing it, and maybe instead of that being 4 through 6, just doing schedule 4, and then the next video would be schedules 5 and 6. I never got around to editing the video. And the next thing I know, it's now Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm like, I still haven't put a video together. That's why I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to put up a video talking about the train show this weekend and do a shout out because I haven't done shout outs in a while. So there is another video, another ops video coming. It probably won't come out this week either because of the fact that this coming weekend is the train show. So we'll probably have another train show talk that'll be coming up, just reminding everybody. I might try to do some other things in between because, and Joe doesn't know about this yet, I haven't had a chance to tell him. I actually did fix, I shouldn't say fix, I modified the J-Class 611, the Norfolk and Western 611. I actually got the drawbar fixed.
Ah, outstanding.
The problem is, the problem is the pilot truck still doesn't want to stay on the track through the S's, and the front truck on the tender still doesn't want to stay on the track through the S's. But it's not the locomotive pulling it off now. I think what's happening is there's some sort of because of the way that Bachman did something really wild with this thing. I actually like the way that they did it. It's one of these things me and some other folks have coined. It's great idea, poor execution. What they did is they actually wired brass or copper strips down either side of the trucks on the tender, so all 4 sides pick up power. The problem is they left little ears that go up inside the tender, which is where the wiring goes that feeds the decoder. I think what they did is they actually put a stop on there somewhere on the front truck to where it can't pivot too far. So I've either got to get a washer to move it up, get it above those, or I'm going to have to snip them off. Yeah. That's what my thoughts. I haven't had a chance to go back and play with it some more. It's actually sitting on the shelf. But
say if you raise that tender up, well, that's going to throw your coupler height all to hell.
Well, actually, it's on the front side. It's the front truck. It's the front truck that's catching. Yeah, it's going to sit like that. Yeah. Well, it depends on how much of a washer. I can always put washers on both sides too, and that way it would even it back out. But train show, what's a train show? Oh boy, here we go. So yeah, I'm still experimenting with the 611. I mean, I love the locomotive. I definitely want the thing to run. But one of the drawbacks, and anybody that's been over here, in fact, even Joe, one of the comments that I've got, they're like, why did you snake through here? What was the purpose of that? Why not just go straight? Well, 2 things, really. First off, following the edge of the layout.
That's it.
You don't want to follow the edge of the layout. I did it enough, through the rest of the plate. I didn't want to do that there. 1, 2, I wanted to have, and I still haven't put it in yet, I want to put in a river scene over on one side of this. And of course, the other side's got the station and a team track. So I wanted the S's. Again, we'll go back to great idea, poor execution. What I should have done is I should have gone out and gotten 22 and 24-inch radius for that snake section. That would have helped a lot, because I could have gone ahead and when you get to the one side, or the outer tracks would have been 24 and the inner tracks would have been 22, but it probably would have worked out a lot better. At least the 24-inch radius, I'd probably have a little bit more of a fighting chance of 611 running on there with no modifications. But since everything is 22-inch radius, yeah, no, the bigger locomotives just,
I had basically the same problem. I have an old Athearn Blue Box U-boat. I think it's a U-28. That was the 6-axle unit, and an SD9, which is a 6-axle unit. The U-boat ran around my layout with no trouble at all. Now, I've got underneath my favorite scene where you come underneath the bridge, there's 18-inch curves in there. The U-boat had no trouble at all going through there. The SD9 refused to go through there. Nope, it ain't going either direction. It refused. So I said, fine and dandy, we'll never run the SD9. We'll just run the U-boat. The strangest thing has happened. I compared the two together. Mm-hmm. And there is a slight difference in the wheel arrangement in each truck. The U-boat, the wheels were just a hair farther apart. And you'd think that with being Athearn Blue Box, that all their 6-axle units would all be the same, but they're not. And there was just a hair difference. I mean, it couldn't have been a 32nd of an inch difference. So I unsoldered all the wires off of them, and I took the wheel sets off the U-boat, and I put them on the SD9. I took the side frames off because they didn't match, and put the correct side frames on the SD unit, even though it had the U-boat axles under it. Soldered the decoders all back in again. The SD9 runs around there beautiful.
No, the U-boat don't work.
The U-boat, if I turn it, the U-boat has to run in the opposite direction that most of the railroad runs in. But the U-boat will negotiate through there only because the frame is wider and lets the truck pivot more than it did on the SD9. But just a little bit of screwing around with the two of them together, and I actually got both of them that they will run now anyway.
Sparky's asking if I've got extra room down here. And then Split Rock said something about tents. When doing S-curves, you should install a straight, which I did, Ken. Believe it or not, there are straight sections within that S-curve because of that. Because if not, then the tracks went way too close together. I knew that going in. So I actually do have those spacers in there to go ahead and keep the tracks at the correct alignment all the way through. What the really funny thing of it is when we were over here in the fall, and Steven the plumber had bought that, I forgot what locomotive that was, and it was I think it was a demonstrator unit, or was it undecorated? Either way, we go ahead. It's a DC. He said, "I just want to see if it runs." And I'm like, "Okay." So we put it on the track and we start running it, and it was jumping. And I'm like, well, that's odd. It was jumping right out here next to the copper and brass company. I'm like, that's odd. Give me a minute. So I go ahead and I pull out my E33. If you, I do own a pickup, Roy. It's a small pickup, but I own a pickup. The wild thing of it is that E33, it's a Bachmann Spectrum. I don't know if it's how it was in real life or if it's just the way that they set it up, but the front two wheels on that truck are closer together than the third set.
Yeah.
There's a larger space, and it's the exact opposite on the rear. That locomotive was one of the first ones that I ran across here, and I knew I had problems because it would jump. And I'd find that spot and I'd fix it. And we would go ahead and it would clear. And then it would get to the next spot. It would jump. I'm like, well, if this daggone thing, if I can get it to make a lap around this thing, I know I'm going to be in good shape because otherwise, because I've got an SD24 that IHC put together. That's a 9-wheel or it's a 6-axle. And that thing, well, the first problem it had was it didn't have enough weight. IHC, for whatever reason, did not put enough weight into their locomotives. So I reweighted it. The thing runs like a top, but I mean, that's another one. Like you said, those six axle trucks, if there's going to be a problem, they'll find them.
Yep.
You know, the SD40-2s, I've got 2 of them. Same thing. The FP45s, same thing. And those trucks, those wheels are equally spaced. It doesn't matter which one those are equally spaced. But if there's a problem, oh yeah, they'll find it. The one FP45 doesn't like my 30-degree or my 19-degree crossovers. If I try to run it on a loop, it'll stall. It does not like the older Atlas 19-degree crossings. I don't know. Loves the new ones. New ones are no problem. The old ones, nope.
Jeez.
Nope. It'll stall.
Well, I've got one engine, a Walther's GP9, Western Maryland's chassis unit, that because of one corner on my layout, if I run it with the cab forward, short hood forward, it catches on some of the scenery. But if I turn it around and run it long hood forward, it has no trouble whatsoever. It doesn't catch anywhere. So that one is constantly running long hood forward.
How does a DD40? Yeah, I don't think I could get a DD40 yet. I don't think a Centennial is going to make it around this layout. In fact, I don't think a big boy or a cab forward would make it around this layout.
Even my steam loco, I haven't tried it yet. I want to buy somewhere in the near future 282 or a 482, something like that, and see if that'll make it around. My 260 has no trouble at all. My little mogul, that has no trouble at all running the scenic excursion around.
The thing of it is, Joe, you know somebody that's got old steam sitting over there on the shelf. It's DC. I mean, I'd be more than happy to bring them over and we could try them out. I don't know if the 210-2 would make it around there.
No,
but
no, 210 definitely will not.
Although I will tell you, the only ones that have flanges are the wheels on either end. The 6 in the middle don't have flanges. They're dummies. But yeah. Yeah, the steamers are definitely temperamental. There is no question, and that's exactly what I'm fighting with the J-Class 611. That thing has just been, and I think one of the things with it, and I've looked it up, that it will run across 22-inch radius. The issue is I think the pilot truck, I think needs to be adjusted. I think the screw. I was going to say should have a spring on it too. It doesn't have a spring.
It should have a spring to force that thing down.
There's no spring that I can find. Not on the pilot truck. Yeah, which I thought was weird too.
Yeah, because most of them should have a spring that goes around that screw.
Yeah, I didn't see a spring on that screw. You
still got the paperwork?
I've got the whole box back here. When we get done here, we'll go back and we'll take a look at it real quick.
Look at the paperwork, and it'll show it on the parts breakdown if it's got a spring there.
So I figured Bernard wasn't going to come down for the spring, that he would be coming back down in the fall. Yeah. 8-hour drive again, but I was working for Mini Prince. Yep. How about a 212-4? Yeah, I don't know if a 212-4 would make it around here. Oh man, Yeah, I agree, Ken, that they should, but I don't see anything. I've actually got a couple of Mantua, older Mantua units. And I was telling Joe about this a while back. My 282 had a bad tendency, the pilot truck, the spring would come out. So you'd go over to the shelf and you'd be like, well, wait a minute, why is the front truck was flopping in the breeze? And you look on the shelf and there is the spring. So I took your suggestion and went ahead and put a little dab of crazy glue on the pilot truck itself. And I'm like, yeah, that ain't going nowhere now. It'll because what it is, that spring slides across the contact, or not a contact, but it slides across the bottom of the steam chest.
Okay.
That's how they work that one. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too, Ray. Possibly putting a sticky weight on it just to have something to weight it down to the tracks. Like I said, it's really weird. I can take it down to the Beauville side, or even up here to the Newtown side before the S's. It'll run around those 22-inch radius curves, no problem. As soon as it gets into the S's, it's got a problem. And like I said, originally, the way that, I don't know why Bachmann did this, they had a slip joint for the drawbar so that when it went around the corner, it would actually compress on one side and open up on the other, and then the opposite in the other direction. Well, obviously, when you're going through an S curve, it's all sorts of cattywampus, and it was catching. So it was just that the locomotive being heavier was just pulling the tender right off the track. So what I ended up doing is I ended up building my own drawbar, and out of some parts that I had floating around, using the existing screws. And like I said, I don't see it binding anymore. But now that front truck on the tender is catching on something. But that's the other issue besides the pilot truck. That the pilot truck just drives me crazy. But anyway, people are still asking Dave about the train show. Buy a box of the train show of small springs, and that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go. There's an idea too. I probably have stuff floating around back there that I could go ahead and come up with something. Hey, you know what? You could always take an old pen and
take the spring out of a pen.
Take the spring out of a pen. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Let's see what else. I know that there was a whole bunch of cattywampus. Yeah, it was one of my grandfather's old words. Yeah, trains normally. Well, I tell you what, that's one of the other neat things with that J Class 611, since it is DCC with the decoder. I guess that's what they call a dual mode. It'll run in DCC and DC. When it gets to a corner, it does slow itself down. Yeah. It's really, I've never seen a locomotive do that, where it senses that it's going through a corner and it slows itself down until it gets through the corner, and then it takes off again. I'm like, that's pretty wicked. Doesn't take much pressure to fix. No, more pressure on me to fix it. Oh my goodness. So I don't know what else has been. I haven't really been paying much attention to the chat. We've been sitting here shooting the breeze, and everybody else is just listening to us. I don't know why. Oh my! So how many subscribers are you up to these days?
I think I'm sitting right around 381, 383, somewhere right in there. I'm only, on the average, I'm picking up maybe one a month or one every other month, something like that. I think if I put more videos out, it might do, a little bit, but with the way my railroad is, it's hard to do a this is how I do it type video, because this is how I do it is, hey, it's already done.
You're right. And you think it'd be fixed with a good hammer. Yeah. Buy a new one. Problem fixed. Thanks, Dave. These two still talking. Sorry, was busy chatting to the chat. All right, Dave. That's my buddy. I want a refund on the show. It hasn't derailed one bit. All right, Artie.
Yeah, we have kind of talked about trains all night.
Yeah, it's amazing. Here it is. We're an hour in, and
Yeah, we're still talking trains. Yeah.
How the crap did that happen?
Yeah.
Here it is. I always figured this was going to go all sorts of sideways and stay on friggin' track. Maybe that's what I need to do. I just have to have people over here all the time, keep me on track.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to bring up about the show.
Okay.
The Wilmer says that he wants to have everybody get together at the food court at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Before the food court gets overwhelmed with the lunchtime crowd.
Okay.
So if you're at the show, food court, 10 o'clock, get a hug from Wilmer and a handshake from everybody else.
And trust me, those bear hugs from Wilmer or something. Yeah, that's one of the things. My buddy Big John, he lives up in Harford County. I talked to him. Well, he's also the secretary treasurer of the bowling league. So we were talking Friday night. I told him, I said, if you can try to get down to my place around 9:30, that would be great. He's like, ooh, I'm like, okay. Just try to get down here as soon as you can, and then we'll go from there. I said, if worst comes to worst, I said, you can just meet me over at the show.
Yeah, because I think they open up 9 o'clock Saturday.
Right.
And I know Flying Crow's having breakfast at the Nautilus, which is a couple 100 yards south of the fairgrounds. I'm going to meet him there at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not eating breakfast. That would come out of my train budget, and that's not going to happen. So I'll have a cup of coffee with Robert. Then we'll go to the show.
10 a.m. is brunch. Oh, for goodness sakes. Really, Artie?
What's he complaining about now?
Yeah, Robert and Wilmer did mention that Ray Bogle is buying breakfast. Yeah, no. Not after the garbage that I've been through here lately. Oh, man. Hey, Gus Hadley, welcome in, man. I haven't seen you around in a while. That's kind of the plan. I know, and I was talking to my buddy John Friday night. We're going to try and get there. I said, originally they were planning on noon, but then the more they thought about it, that's the lunch crowd, and that's going to get a little crowded over there.
Yeah.
So, doing it at 10 o'clock probably makes more sense. Like I said, we're gonna Grandpa Rails.
We don't have one of them here in Timonium.
No, neither one. Well, they're neither one anymore. Did I go to York? No, I did not. Gus, I had another commitment this weekend. We had I had some volunteer work to do yesterday, and then my daughter's the company my daughter works for had an event last night, so I couldn't. Yesterday was just completely screwed up, and of course with the storms that rolled through yesterday, I didn't get much. There were some things I wanted to get done outside, which didn't happen. That happened today.
Did you get much storm here?
Oh yeah,
I got 15 minutes of light shower.
Oh,
that was it.
We had heavy rain and wind for about 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, we had very little. I walked outside this morning expecting to see tree limbs and branches and all that kind of mess. There wasn't even anything out there to pick up. Sparky's putting his order in.
His breakfast order?
Yeah. Hey, Sparky, I hate to say it, is that for you or is that for Rick? Mr. Bailey. Yes, Gus, we are, but that's one of the things we've been talking about. I will be at Timonium. Just not exactly sure what time I'm going to get there Saturday, but I'm going to be there. Are you going to be headed down this way, Gus? We found the cure the sidetrack Sunday. It's a prescription for the show. That's a good one, Ian. Just me, but only if you're buying. Nope. I ended up. I ended up having to pay Uncle Sam this year, so no.
Ooh.
Yeah, things are a little tight.
One of the few things about being on Social Security that's good. I don't pay no damn taxes anymore.
Ray just dropped Sparky off at Denny's.
Yeah. Well, Denny's ain't too far from my house. He could walk there.
Oh my! There used to be an IHOP up in Timonium, but that's gone.
Yeah.
If I'm
buying one egg.
half an egg. Oh boy. But with Vermont maple syrup, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someday I want to get back to the east to Timonium. Isn't it a big show for craftsman structure kits?
I think that's more than the October show.
Yeah, I think that's more the October show. The spring show, to me, the spring show is it's still a lot more of the sales side. It's a lot of the individual people selling stuff, and of course the modular railroads that come in from all over the place. You know, from as far south as Virginia and as far north as into Pennsylvania. I know that we've talked for years to Barry Rosier about bringing the Strasburg model railroad down here. They had discussed it apparently at one point, but that was right before the pandemic hit, or I'm sorry, the showstopper hit.
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know if they've actually thought about it anymore. I mean, that would be neat to see because I've seen that thing once up at the Railroad Museum in Pennsylvania, and that is awesome. 60. I want to say that layout is 65 feet long, and it's straight. There's no curves, it's dead. At least the one that they had up there at the museum was dead straight. And it goes from Strasburg all the way to Paradise. I mean, they literally got Strasburg in miniature. I mean, it is something awesome to see. But yeah, I don't know that the spring show, like I said, is more of a sale, more of a, I hate to say it like this, but somewhat of a flea market type thing. I think the October and the February show, they do a lot more of the kit stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the you get into the spring show, I think, is more just the people just trying to clean house. I don't need this. Let's see. Anywho, you need a Waffle House. I don't know if there's.
We don't have any around here.
There used to be one. There used to be one in Blair, off of Blair Road. Was that a Waffle House or was that something else? I'm thinking in Fullerton, or just north of Fullerton, just outside the Beltway. I don't remember if that was a Waffle House
or
was
an IHOP.
That was an IHOP.
There's an IHOP that's there now.
Yeah.
My first wife worked at Waffle House.
Right. Did they put the 2020? No. Nope, they didn't put us on the layout yet. Fun show, Joe. Thanks. Oh, and Ray too. Thanks, John. Always a critic, I tell you. Yeah, so who all's going to be at the show? That's a great point, Sparky. Yeah, because it's 9:00 here, and I'm going to have to get splitting here shortly. But from what I know, Wilmer from Indian Head Valley will be over. Robert from the Flying Crow is coming up. Dave is coming down from the Crooked River in Eastern. Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt will be in. I know Alec Puglisi. I feel as though I'm screwing his name up every time I say it. He'll be actually working the show. He's actually working a table for Howard Zane. I know Rodney's planning on scooting down this way.
Alan from Mason-Dixon.
Alan from Mason-Dixon is actually bringing a couple people from the Hartford Cecil. That's what it is. It's the Hartford or the Cecil Hartford Model Railway or something like that. It's the combined. He's bringing a couple of folks down. I thought I saw something from Forever DC. I think he's possibly going to be swinging in as well. I haven't heard anything from him recently, but he did make a comment on the last video that I put up. I'm trying to think. I know Ken Amos will be down. He's going to make it over. I know that John from the Schuylkill River Valley had talked about it, but unfortunately his daughter or his granddaughter is moving this weekend, so he's not going to be able to make it down. But I don't think I missed anybody, did I?
Not that I know of, anyway.
Okay. I have a feeling that there might be surprises in store, but we'll see what happens there. But there have been a couple of folks that have reached out to me and basically said keep it under wraps. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's always nice to have surprises.
What is Fort Edward, Joe and Ray can name it? There you go. Yeah, we'll get some folks to take a couple of group photos, Bob. Absolutely, absolutely. And welcome in, sir. I know you had said that you were listening to the chat or listening to the show while you were driving. So. Yeah, there you go. Ken Amos is saying that will be at the center hall entry. Okay. That's what I figured. That's usually that's where Howard's stuff used to be. Is Niecy going to do a surprise? I doubt that she's coming up from Florida.
No. That's a long trip.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Already, security cameras will be taking incriminating photos. You all better make videos of the show. Actually, it's funny that you would mention that, Rusty, because I hadn't, when we all went in the fall, I didn't take the video, my normal video camera, the one I use for the vlogs, because I was like, I don't want to lug that thing around. And as it was, I ended up lugging around the other camera and didn't take any pictures at all.
Yeah, that's...
so it's like, what? If I take the video camera with me, I'll be forced to take pictures with that.
Yeah, that's why I don't even take one, because if I'm taking pictures, I know I'm going to miss something. That's if you show up at my house to look at the railroad, you're going to be on video there. I'll have the camera set up for visitors.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can figure out some way of setting this thing up down here again to be able to do multiple cameras, because the way that and I'll show Joe more, but I've got in fact, my camera is actually plugged into it. It's a 30-foot powered USB cord that actually goes over to the layout and goes to a USB hub, and that hub feeds. Well, it'll feed the video camera, which will be up on top of the TV. The camera that you're actually on is on this end of the layout, and then there's a Lenovo on the opposite end, right over top of Beauville. But I'll have to see if I can't figure out some way of getting. Maybe I'll, instead of using that, I don't know. I've got an issue. I can't have this camera and that camera on the same USB hub at the same time, because they're both Logitechs and they cancel each other out. And I've got the same problem with that camera. And where the heck is it? There's another
camera hiding.
There's another camera floating around back here someplace. I have no idea what I did with it. Oh, it's up there behind you. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're both generics, and the way OBS picks them up and the way the USB thing picks them up, it thinks it's the same camera.
Wow.
So they've got to be on two separate USB ports. Where is the train show? It's in Timonium. Tom's Trains and Things is making a way back.
Tom knows where it is.
Yeah, Tom's picking on us. You should have a contest. You get $5 to spend on anything, but you have to give it to a fellow YouTuber. See who gets the worst trade. Oh, goodness. Thomas, you ain't right. You'll have to watch TikTok like everybody. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting sidetracked. Hey, Ron Montig, welcome in, sir. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw and Ron, I did see your reply to the video. I know you said you won't be up here for this one, but you'll be back in the fall. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. A split. I thought you said $5 a split. No, yeah. Hey, wait. Wait a minute. Oh goodness. Yeah, you see what I put up with?
And I emailed Plumber
Okay.
yesterday, just to see how he was doing, because I hadn't seen him over
Great.
there, and I know you said the same thing. You hadn't seen him too much of him. He says he's doing better. He's doing okay, but he's getting ready to go to a different doctor because he's getting tired of the way things are working, and he wants a second opinion on what the hell they're doing.
Gotcha.
But he's holding his own anyway. So
Yep. I think we've all told him numerous times that we're all behind him. We got his back. You know, take care of number one first, and you know we'll catch up. We will definitely catch up. So yeah, but that's basically all I've got, folks. And sidetracks, welcome in. Was just about ready to shut things down here, buddy. Is that? Oh, jeez. Tom's picking on the green post now.
Oh,
Yeah.
above my head? No green posts over there.
Nope.
You can't see any of them.
You can't see me. Oh man. So that's basically all I've got. I can tell you that next Sidetrack Sunday.
Well, there's Heath. I see him in here now.
Oh, there's Heath.
Don't know when he popped in, but let's know if we're still talking trains. Yes, we are. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, we can leave now. He's here.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray Ron, I didn't know you were hanging out in the background. Any rate, what I was getting ready to say is next Sunday is going to be Nisi. That's the 29th, or I'm sorry, the 30th. She'll have Sidetrack Sunday next week. And like I said, I've been trying to keep up with the Sidetrack Sunday crew. When I put my video, since I'm putting out videos every Friday, basically updating that splash screen, letting everybody know when I have, or when everybody is doing the Sidetrack Sunday streams. And like I said, the way it's looking right now, Nisi is going to cover my Sidetrack Sunday, and in May I'm going to have my family in town, so I will not be doing that show. Ray Ron was taking incriminating shots. Oh, brother! No. Oh, brother! And now Rick's picking on the green posts. Sheesh. Yeah, they're the green posts are all hidden. It can't be a green when Alex Brockaway gave. Jeez. Oh man. So anyway, that's all I've got. Joe, thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir.
Enjoyed it.
Yep. I'm glad that you were able to come over here and we were able to shoot the breeze with the community for a little bit, for an hour and 15 minutes. That's typical, it's only supposed to go an hour. Never go an hour, especially when I'm doing them. So that's all I've got, folks. You all have a good week.
If you're coming to the show, try to send either one of us an email so that we know if you're going to stop by our house, so we can get some kind of an idea as to how many people are going to be wandering through our houses.
Yeah. Or wandering around the house.
Wandering around trying to find us.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the thing is like I told Al earlier today. I said you won't be able to miss me. I said I'll have the black B&N shirt on. So just like the running joke was up at Strasbourg last year. Wait a minute, where's Ray? Anybody seen Ray? Yeah, no, I'm right here. Yeah. Oh no. Thanks, Opa Dodge. I appreciate it. Sparky just put a second quarter in for another hour. Yeah, don't work like that. All right, folks. You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch y'all next time. Be safe. God bless. We will see ya.
Bye.